The students are already there?
Yes.
Good morning everybody, I am Dr. Rashmi. Today I will teach you what is water and electrolyte balance. You know that the total body water is almost, it constitutes 60 to 70% of our body weight. Say for example, we are 40 kgs, of that 60 to 70% will be only water. So the total body water includes that which is present inside the cells as well as outside the cells. Even inside the cells, for the functioning of the those cells, the water is very essential. But outside the cells also, there will be water. So we can divide the body water into two compartments. One is known as the extracellular water that constitutes 20% of the total body water. That is out of the 60 to 70% body weight which is water. Extracellular water of that will be only 20% and the rest 40% will be intracellular water. So the extracellular water is again divided into what is called as intravascular water and extravascular water. Intravascular water is that which is present within the blood vessels. That is inside the vascular vessels, inside the blood vessels. That is mainly plasma. And what is present outside this is called as extravascular water. That is called as interstitial fluid. You have some space between the tissues, right? You have blood vessels, and outside the blood vessels you have tissues. Those tissues, spaces between those tissues is called as interstitium. So there is some amount of water even in that area, that is called as extravascular water. So you have to balance this water between these compartments, and for this there are two important things that they do. One is osmolarity and the other one is colloidal osmotic pressure. See, this is how it is divided. The body fluid compartment is divided into intracellular fluid and extracellular fluid. Extracellular fluid is again divided into intravascular and extravascular. Intravascular is plasma that is present within the blood vessels. Extracellular is in the intestine. Extravascular, it is in the interstitial spaces. Now, what is the composition of our body fluids? Then we have both cations as well as anions. The cations are sodium, potassium, calcium, and magnesium, whereas the anions are chlorides, bicarbonates, sulfates, and phosphates. So, the most important thing that we will be dealing today in water and electrolyte imbalances is sodium, potassium. We will deal with sodium, potassium, and chlorides along with the water abnormalities. Now, before that, we have to learn what is called as osmolarity. Osmolarity is the osmotic pressure exerted by the number of moles of solute per kg of solvent. So, let's see what is this solute and solvent. Solute is, say for example, you take water, that is the solvent, and you add salt to it, right? So, the salt is the solute and the water is the solvent. So, osmolarity is the number of particles of sodium and chloride. In fact, sodium and chloride will be 2 moles. Is that clear? Sodium 1 mole, chloride 1 mole. So, it is 2 moles. Like that, you will have lot of moles of solute within the water. So, the concentration of those particles within the water is what is called as osmolarity of that solution. Is that of that? So that is osmolarity. So the normal osmolarity of plasma will vary from 285 to 295 milliosmoles per kg. It is again it's the same thing. It is the number of solute particles per unit weight of water, irrespective of the size or nature of the particles. Say you can have a solute which is having small grain-like particles like salt, or you can have some other substances where the particles size will be more. So it is not dependent on the size or the nature, what is the type of the particles. It is just the number of particles in that solvent which gives rise to an increase or decrease in the osmolarity. Low molecular weight will contribute for more osmolarity. Yes, low molecular weight, lots of particles, so they will give rise to more osmolarity, and high molecular weights will give rise to higher osmolarity. Hence, the major factor which determines this osmolarity is sodium because it is an abundance everywhere in the body. Sodium and water balance are dependent on each other. I hope you people know in physiology about the sodium potassium pump. In that, you must have read that whenever the sodium enters into the cell, you know that it also takes particles of water, right? So that is how the sodium and water go hand in hand. Water diffusers, you know that they always will have substances which will go flow from a compartment of low osmolarity to the one which are high osmolarity. Same thing applies to your pressure also, low pressure to high pressure. So here also the water diffuses from a compartment of low osmolarity to one of the high osmolarity until the osmotic pressure is same in both the compartments. See, what is the function of these fluid and electrolytes in the body? It transports nutrients to the cells and carries waste away from the cells. Maintains the blood volume. They regulate the temperature. They serve as an aqueous medium for cellular metabolism. They assist in the digestion of food through hydrolysis. Acts as solvents in which solutes are available for cell function. Serves as a medium for excretion of waste products. So these are the functions of the fluids and electrolytes in the body. Now, how are these maintained? The regulation of sodium and water balance, it is maintained by three important routes which you must have read in physiology. One is the aldosterone, the other one is the antidiuretic hormone, and the last one is the angiotensin system. Now coming to the abnormalities in water, we have either water can decrease or water can increase. So water, whenever it is decreased in the body, it is called as dehydration. Whenever it is more, we call it as overhydration. So what happens when do you have this dehydration? Occurs whenever there is inadequate water intake or whatever water is present in the body is lost. So that is dehydration. Excess water loss is also associated with electrolyte loss. Remember, just water is not going out of the body, even the electrolytes are being lost. So what are the causes for this dehydration? Loss. Your first important thing is you are not taking inadequate water from the body. That is one of the most important causes. What are the other causes? Diarrhea, vomiting, excessive sweating, fluid loss occurs. Fluid loss occurs can be very severe. Adrenocortical dysfunction. I told you about the aldosterone, angiotensin system, right? So those dysfunctions can cause. Diabetes insipidus is a condition where there will be excessive loss of fluids from the body and then renal insufficiency. The kidney has some problem. The renin angiotensin system doesn't function properly. That is where we can have some amount of dehydration too. The osmotic pressure, they depress osmotic pressure, they will increase within the blood vessels. And of course, you have electrolyte, those will get concentrated. Water, so now water is drawn from intracellular fluid, leading to shrunken cells and affecting cellular activities. You have a high concentration of the solutes outside the cells, right? The plasma has gone. So this blood has become very concentrated. So what happens to, let's take the RBCs, In the RBCs, the content is high. Whereas in the concentration of the solutes is high in the plasma and it is very, very low in the RBCs. So I told you they always move from a place where there is a low pressure to high pressure, right? So from the RBCs, all the contents water will move out of the cell into the plasma. Now we need to understand that there is a pressure difference, low pressure in the RBCs and high pressure in the plasma. So that from low pressure to high pressure whenever the water moves, the RBCs moves there, the water and as a result they become shrunken. Increased ADH secretion causing water retention affects fluid formation, right? Then you have water depletion is accompanied by electrolyte loss. So what are the effects? Cell shrinkage happens, there is urine formation abnormalities, and then there is depletion of electrolytes. How do you identify these people with dehydration? They will feel very thirsty. Even you must have noticed whenever you have not drunk enough water that you can feel thirsty, there is dry mucosa, the lips become dry, increased pulse rate, low BP, sunken eyeballs, loss of skin temperature, the elasticity of the skin will be lost and it will appear as if in the old age you can see that wrinkles on the skin, like that it will start appearing. Then there will be lethargy, you won't be able to do any work. Decreased urine output, the urine formation is low, so they will be passing very little urine, confusion and coma. That is in the extreme cases we can have confusion and coma. So what is the treatment for it? Anytime there is dryness of water, you ask them to take plenty of water. If the condition is serious like decreased or urine output is there, confusion is there, they will need the 5% glucose, dextrose, saline or normal saline infusion should be given and replace the total deficit in the first 24 hours and rest in the next 24 hours. So you should not overload them with lot of fluids. So gradually you should give them in the first 24 hours what is necessary, only 2/3 of that will be replaced. And the next 24 hours the 1/3 will be replaced. Now what is this overhydration? Water intoxication because of excessive water within the body. When does it occur? Whenever we are taking more of salt. Whenever the sodium goes inside, I told you water also goes inside. So that is the reason that we will have increased water retention in salt intake, excessive salt intake. Cardiac failures, hepatic failures, renal failures, overproduction of adenosine, the adenosine. It is seen after events like major trauma, surgical operations, and lung infections. Also, you can see this. Water intoxication causes decrease in osmosis, and over the solutions will be diluted. There will be a lot of solvent, as a result of which osmosis will be reduced. How do you identify this overhydration? You can see that the neck veins will be distended. As you can see, right? You can see that there will be enlarged pedal edema, that is fluid retention in the foot, they appear swollen, increased body weight, headache, confusion, restlessness, convulsions, and coma. These are some of you identify overhydration. How do you treat the cause? So I told you there are so many causes for this, right? So you have to treat the cause. Next, restrict salt and water. Giving them the initial therapy only you can do, but whatever is to be done has to be done under the directions of the doctor. Next, I told you electrolytes. Electrolytes, these are nothing but positively and negatively charged ions in solution in all body fluids. These are expressed as milliequivalents per liter. If you have seen the report of sodium, potassium, chloride reports, you can see that. So sodium is maybe 136 milliequivalents per liter. Potassium is 5.2 milliequivalents per liter. That is how we express these electrolytes. Sodium is the most important cation which is present in the extracellular fluid. I told you about intracellular and extracellular. In the extracellular fluid, the predominant electrolyte is, just hold on, there's some mistake problem in the system. Maybe we should remove this. Electrolytes. Sodium is a principal cation in the extracellular fluid, and potassium is very important cation in the intracellular fluid. I told you what is extracellular fluid, right? In the interstitium, there you will have more of sodium, and within the cells you will have more of potassium. And other anions, predominant anions of chloride and bicarbonate, is a predominant anion in the extracellular fluid and phosphate inside the cell. See, phosphate, potassium are inside the cell intracellular. Sodium, chloride, and bicarbonate are extracellular, predominant elements. Osmotic pressure of the extracellular fluid is determined by the sodium concentration. As I told you, it accounts for 90% of the osmolality. I told you that is a predominant element. Now, what is the sodium? The total sodium of the body is 4,000 milliequivalents. It is for the whole body, it's not for the liter, we are talking about whole body. Of this, 50% will be present in the bones, 40% in the extracellular fluid, and 10% in the soft tissues. I told you again, I am stressing it is a major cation of the extracellular fluid, and it regulates the extracellular fluid volume. How much blood is there, how much fluid is there, how much in the blood, all that is regulated with the sodium. Sodium operating in all cells is sodium extracellular, right? We have sodium potassium now. So, and the sodium goes out, the water goes out, so sodium is integrated with this pump. Sodium as sodium bicarbonate is important for acid-base balance. That you will get an acid-base imbalance is not there to teach you how this will maintain the acid-base balance. In a normal diet, we take around 5 to 10 grams of sodium, mainly in the form of salt we are taking, right? And there are some other substances which are also rich in sodium. And same amount is excreted. What you think is most of it is excreted. The normal sodium level is 136 to 145 milliliters per liter. So, as you are nursing students, whenever you are seeing the reports and getting reports from the laboratory, you should make sure, first thing is, you should see for all the parameters. So, anything less than this or anything more than this, you should inform the doctors immediately. Electrolytes will have very adverse consequences on the patient. So, even a minor change in them can lead to some major morbidity and mortalities. So, immediately inform the doctors. Major quantity of sodium is absorbed from proximal tubes in the kidney. Along with the sodium, water goes inside, and the excretion of the sodium is regulated by the distal convoluted tubules, and obviously increases the sodium reabsorption. So, this is the absorption in the proximal convoluted tubules of the kidney, and excretion is in the distal convoluted tubules. Now, what is this hypernatremia? When do you call it as hypernatremia? Increase in sodium. How much? More than 150 millimoles per liter. It is hypernatremia. So, it is critical. You should inform the doctor immediately. Causes of hypernatremia include failure of water intake. When you fail to take water intake, increased sodium. How do you identify increased sodium? Again, they will have dry mucous membranes, fever, thirst, and restlessness. How do you treat them? You administer water orally, or if they cannot take it orally, you give them an nasogastric. Administration of 5% dextrose or 4.5% saline. Rapid dehydration can cause cerebral edema. That's why when you are hydrating them, do not overhydrate them because it can cause edema of the brain. So, gradually you should hydrate them. How about hyponatremia? Decrease in the sodium levels is hyponatremia. Any sodium level less than 135 millimoles per liter is hyponatremia. Where does it occur? It occurs when there is loss of fluid, right? Vomiting, diarrhea, burns, adrenal insufficiency, chronic renal failure, congestive cardiac failure, defective radial secretion, drugs can cause this decreased sodium. What are the clinical signs? Irritating hydration, decreased blood pressure, drowsiness, lethargy, confusion, tremors, oliguria is decreased urine output, and coma. They can present in the last stages in coma. How do you treat them? If it is acute stage of hyponatremia, give them hypertonic saline, which should not be more than 1 to 2 millimoles per liter per hour. If it is chronic, usually treat the underlying cause and fluid restrictions. Usually it depends on 1 to 1.5 liters per day. You have to restrict the fluid intake. It's a chronic condition in order to give them hypertonic salines. Now, potassium. Potassium is another very important electrolyte which has major functions in the body. Let's see what it is. The total body potassium is 3,500 milliequivalents, out of which 75% is present in the skeletal muscles. I told you potassium is a major intracellular cation and it maintains the osmotic pressure within the cells. What are its functions? See, it has a function in depolarization and contraction of the heart, nerve impulse transmission, intracellular concentration gradient is maintained by sodium, potassium, ATPase compounds. So it has a major effect on the as well as to the nerves. What are the important sources? Banana, orange, mango, tetrahydrocan. Why I am telling you this? Here you have to, so many times you have to ask the patients not to take these food because it is rich in potassium. So that is the reason I am giving you a sources of potassium. The normal level is 3.5 to 5 milligrams per liter. Since this has a major effect on the heart, it should be any changes in these values should be immediately brought to the notice of the higher ups. Excretion of potassium is mainly through urine, and aldosterone are particles towards increase their excretion. What is hyperkalemia? Any level more than 5.5 milliequivalents is hyperkalemia. It causes renal failure, Addison's disease, hemolysis, tissue. Hemolysis is breakdown of the RBCs are broken down the tissue necrosis, metabolic acidosis, drugs like spironolactone, ACE inhibitors. These can cause increase in the potassium level. Even a minor increase in this is causing the major life-threatening consequences. So there can be an effect on the heart and the bone. So it can cause arrhythmias and ventricular fibrillation. What happens? They will be having on the nerves also. I told you it causes increased membrane excitability in the nerves. It starts stimulating the nerves more. So they will go into the state of because of that stimulation, the muscles can go into what is called as flaccid paralysis. They won't be able to move them. And on the heart, it causes increased heart rate and causes cardiac arrest. So an ECG will help you to find that there will be elevated T wave, widening of the QRS complex, and lengthening of the PR. This is an ECG finding. What do you treat them with? Calcium gluconate. It will reduce the cardiac toxicity. Put them on low potassium. And it is in these conditions like Cushing's disease, aldosteronism, hyperaldosteronism, alkalosis, insulin therapy, diarrhea, vomiting, deficient intake of potassium, and drugs like insulin, salbutamol, and hospital. These can cause hypokalemia. How do you know they have manifested hypokalemia? They will have muscle weakness. Here you have paralysis, here you have muscle weakness, fatigue, hypotension, decreased reflexes. You have these knee jerks, ankle jerks, when you give those reflexes and other type of reflexes which you must have read in physiology, all those reflexes will be decreased. Palpitation and cardiac arrest. These are the findings. What does ECG say? Flattened T wave. Then you have T segment is lower. What's the treatment? Identify and stop the ongoing losses of potassium. Wherever you have seen them, basically you are treating the cause. Discontinue any diuretics and laxatives that are causing because excessive loss will be there in the urine, in the form of urine or in the form of stools. Use potassium sparing diuretics. There are some drugs which are like spironolactone, as I told you in the previous drugs. They can cause increased loss of these potassium. So in those cases, you will have to give them potassium sparing diuretics. Then treat the diarrhea and vomiting and use H2 blockers to decrease nasogastric suction losses and control hyperglycemia very close to 8%. See, basically this you are trying to treat the cause so that the hypokalemia will be treated, and there are drugs which needs to be changed because it can cause some amount of potassium. Coming to the fluoride metabolism, it runs according to sodium and fluoride go hand in hand. Fluoride is important in the formation of hydrofluoric acid in the gastric juice, and fluoride ions are involved in fluoridation. So, what is the normal concentration of fluoride? It is 96 to 106 milliequivalents per saline. What is hypochloremia? Decreased levels of fluoride is hypochloremia. What are the causes for this? Excessive vomiting, excessive sweating, and Addison's disease. So, what is the treatment for that? Give them normal saline, treat the underlying cause, and stop the causative agents. Especially these drugs can cause this hypochloremia, increase in the fluoride concentration. So, you give them stop those drugs which are causing this decreased chloride levels, and then you can control this decreased chloride levels. So basically what I want to tell you is you can have water, more water, reduced water. So you should know if it is reduced water, what to do. If the patient is having overweight, you should know. So these are the two things you should keep in mind. Next is electrolytes. Electrolytes are very, very important elements of the body, and even minor changes in these elements can cause major issues, especially with potassium. I told you how it does affects the nerves in the heart. So any changes, values of less than the normal range or more than the normal range should be immediately brought to the attention of the doctor, and you should treat the patients accordingly. Majority of them it is you have to treat and treat once. What is critical, the values which are less than normal or more than normal are called as critical values. These should be immediately brought to the notice of the higher ones, because they can lead to lot of